Yo, what's goody, yo? We back with season 2. Y'all, we about
Let's
to get
go.
real New York on you.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like,
It says
follow,
busy on the
subscribe.
track.
And
Yeah.
y'all, we finna be
It's
live.
pontificating, yeah, we back again. So tell your friends to tell your ratchet ass friends. Thought we was gone, but nah, no, we ain't. That you got rid of us, but no, you can't. Yeah. We gotta do this shit for real. You know what I mean?
Welcome back to another episode of Pontificating Podcast. It's me, your girl Ty, back again this week with the homie Asia.
What's up?
So y'all know how we're gonna kick this off. We are just gonna jump right into it. I would like to mention at the top of the epi, we do have a special guest for you guys. It's our number one fan, truly our number one fan. We will have the Coily Diva on later to talk all things black hair care. So stay tuned for that. But y'all know it's time for us to get into our shenanigans. So we're gonna start with, is it just me or Asia?
Is it just me, or I feel like this is an extra litty Black History Month? I don't know. I feel like I feel it in my spirit that we have to represent extra hard this month. I feel like, we've coming off the 2020 race riots. We just got Juneteenth, right? I feel like this is the first year where it's like, okay, we're going to celebrate it as the new adults. Because I feel like as kids, it was just like, we have a month at school, we discuss things, we do like a Martin Luther King play, a Rosa Parks play. We knew nothing about Black history as in actuality, except what our parents may or may not have told us. But like as us being the new adults and can like really celebrate it and inform each other and inform ourselves, I feel way more educated about what's happening, what has happened. I feel like I actually want to like celebrate. I can't explain it. Like before, it was a thing. Yes, BHM, but I feel like I have the need to actually like really celebrate this month this time around. Does that make sense?
Celebrate in what way?
Okay, like take like Juneteenth. It's always been there. We've always had it, but like
Right.
people weren't celebrating it. In the north, in the south, they did recognize it, but like now it's become like something we actually like look forward to celebrating. We're like making plans. We're getting with our friends. So in that same way, like I want to make it not just a month that we take for granted, but a month that we really like big up. Like, no, unfortunately, it's only a month we, truly have, according to the white man. But let's really take these 28 days and represent every single day for this month.
Okay.
And I feel it in my soul this year.
Okay, and I feel it in your soul. I get that. I do not feel like it's Black History Month, but I think it's like I've dedicated so much of my time over the last couple of years to just like really honoring Black history that it's just like I feel like I'm just like, yeah, it's February. Like I make jokes at work. I'm like, oh, it's Black History Month. Don't try me. It's like also my Black History Month started off just in the most chaotic way. So it's just like it doesn't feel quite like Black History Month. And like even so yesterday, by the time you guys hear it, it'd be Wednesday, but like yesterday was the first Saturdays. Now I would have never in the past missed the first Saturday at the Brooklyn Museum. The fact that I was just like, I knew it was happening. I could have RSVP very early in advance. And I just was like, okay, whatever. And then I saw my friend posted his Instagram story and I was like, okay, I'm actually jealous. And he was like, oh, it was lit. It was he was like, it was black. And I was like, right. Yeah. So, I mean, big up to everybody who is feeling the Black history in their soul this month. I'm jealous. Truly, I'm jealous.
Well, what's today? Well, by the time you hear this, it'll be I can't do math, but we got like 2 weeks left. So,
right.
We got 20 whole days left from the time this comes out. So you still got time. It might still strike you.
It might, Listen, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I did wake up this Black History Month and I was like, yeah, I'm not taking no more shit. This is it. I gotta get my life together. This is it. Um, yeah. So mine is it just me? I feel nothing. Is it just me, or are you at your capacity to feel? I am quite numb, and I'm just like, cool, right? This is odd. Um, but I just really don't have the capacity to give a fuck about much right now.
Mm.
Um, so I'm gonna ride that wave, and it just is what it is.
I mean, apathy, is not the worst of them all. It's not the worst. Like, it is, I personally think it's where I thrive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like when I was losing my mind previously, like now I'm just like kind of whatever. But I was extremely empathetic, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like just having an open wound, and it was really terrible. And I hated that I felt everything about everyone all the time,
Right.
and I was like, ew.
Right.
Ew. So I feel like for self preservation, like being in an apathetic space is not the worst thing to be.
Yeah.
Not the worst place to be in. I don't,
And for the highly enlightened listeners, like I am very aware that me feeling nothing means that I feel everything so deeply. But as we spoke in past episodes, I'm just choosing not to deal with that thing.
Mhm.
Like after we finish this recording, I have scheduled a mental breakdown Monday at 4 p.m. after I do
Oh,
all of my things. And then hopefully I'll be back and ready to be open up to the world on Wednesday when I have to maybe go back to work, maybe not. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Um, but yeah, I think it's just been so many weeks of like so many complicated things coming up, and I'm just like my mental capacity to like try to figure and work through all of those things. I'm like, no. Like yesterday, I was at work and I was telling my coworker, and I was like, I think I'm diagnosed with a white woman's disease. Like, I self diagnosed myself, but like, I have a white woman's disease. Like, I have developed anxiety.
mm. I mean, I
I,
have anxiety, so
I don't have time. That's a white woman's disease.
you know what I feel. This is what I think. I think Black people have had to persevere for so long, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. We don't get that TikTok, and it's like bus, club, plane, another club, another club.
That is,
That's us. It was slavery, segregation, integration, Jim Crow, race wars, crack up, cocaine wars,
another race war.
another race war, pandemic, right? Okay, now eyes watering. Okay, I feel like that's been us, right? And I feel like particularly this generation, us, our cohort, we're leaning into mental health. We're leaning into like exploring our feelings in a real way. Like, why do I feel this way? Like, what is
Yeah.
causing these feelings? And unfortunately, like white folks have always had that space to be diagnosed, and they've always had that space to figure out what's wrong with them mentally
Right.
and fix it. We have it because first of all, Black therapy is brand new for us. It's like therapy. Go pray. You crazy. Go pray. Have some ginger ale. Go lay down. Like you
Go
depressed?
pray and have some
Go
ginger ale.
what are you doing? That's the devil. And I feel like for the first time, we really have a space where it's like it's okay to not feel your best. It's okay to be honest with what you're feeling with yourself. And it's frightening because yeah, it's like anxiety. What the hell? I ain't no weak bitch.
Right.
The fuck you mean anxiety? But it's like, oh yeah, it's true. And honestly, we should have it. No one else. They shouldn't even have it. We should
Who
have that shit.
who should have
White
it?
people. White people.
Oh, right.
What the hell they anxious about? What
Right. They anxious
they
at
need
they anxious at retaliation and
right.
revenge.
We anxious at actual things that have happened to us. So I do feel like we are just coming to grips with the fact that we do have these things as well because we are humans and the world is worldly. And honestly, we have the true the the cause and effect, we got it. Like,
That, especially like somebody who like I've always been a highly sensitive child that grew up to be a highly guarded, sensitive adult, and I'm like,
mm.
and then you want to throw this in here? You want to throw this into my Pokemon card, baby? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna burn the deck. That's how I felt. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch the deck burn. Oh, we all gonna burn here. I don't give a fuck. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really into astrology. I don't. What am I into? The point is, last week,
no,
everyone. Last week, I had an anxiety attack, a very random one. My
not
cousin
you too.
had
Is
one.
it catching?
No. That's what I was getting at. I was in my house during lunch, whatever, and I was taking a nap on my couch, and I was wearing a wool sweater and a hat, but I started sweating, like I was like hot. So I took my hat off, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just hot. I'm wearing a fucking wool sweater on a leather couch. So then I took my shirt off because I was like, I am really like sweating profusely, and then my heart was racing out of control. So I was like, what the hell? And I've had anxiety attacks before, but they're very much, I can like pinpoint them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a thought and I'm whatever. But this was so random. So I went to the kitchen and I grabbed some water, and my hand was like, as I'm trying to drink this water. And I was like, is this motherfucker having an anxiety attack? And I was like, why? We're in a good place. Are we not in a good place? Like, it was just very confusing for me. So I came back and I sat and I just kind of like did some deep breaths and was like, relax. And then I spoke to my cousin that same night. She said she had one that day as well. And then one of her friends also had one that day or the day before. And I was like, okay, it's in the air.
Celestially, because I have never, that's how I knew I had anxiety. I said, after it was over, I said, I said, you know, I am an intelligent person, and I like to do a lot of self-reflection, which is probably a defense mechanism in some way. That's a mental health issue. But I was like, that felt like a anxiety attack, and I said, anxiety, me? Now, when I stack up all the things in my life right now, it makes sense.
Right.
It's given checking all the boxes, but as a strong woman, what?
Right.
But also, what is strength? What is being a strong woman? You know? And then that's how it happens right here. That's that one question that snowball, like, like I was at a joke making, I was FaceTiming my friend, and I was like, damn, trigger warning. I'm about to make a very dark joke. I was just like, damn, suicide sound okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's giving.
It's giving freedom.
It's giving. Get it? I get it. Ooh. But shout out to my family who just don't give a fuck about what's going on in my life, and I was like, that saved me that night. And I was like, oh, my cousin just FaceTimed me to talk about some random shit. You know, she's just new to the new world of life, so she's just excited about being free. And I was just like, wow, refreshing. I was like, I'm back.
Right.
I'm back. I was like, just walking this girl through the throes of Depop and how to sell my aunt's vintage clothes. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm back. Right. Vintage clothing saved me. Here to live another day. Or not. Who knows? Guys, I'm joking.
What's up?
Do not text me. I'm fine. Ish. Speaking of, but I will say this. I had a friend who listens to the pod really shift my perspective on a lot of things. And I was like, okay, girl. Because she was like, I was just listening to the podcast. And that really just makes me seize up inside. And she was just like, yeah, I was listening to the podcast. She was like, and I remember a couple of episodes ago, you said this, and like, this is the common thing. It's really giving therapy. And she was like, and she sent me this YouTube about like identity shifting. And I want us to talk about it later. I haven't watched the YouTube yet. And I need to watch it because I saw this same woman on TikTok talking about something totally different. And I was like, oh, she's so beautiful. I was like, what does she do? And why does she know Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child? So I go and she has this TED Talk, and I said, I heard the first couple of words. I said, "Oh, they know each other from church. She's doing TED Talks. It's giving motivational. I'm good." And then my friend sent me the same YouTube clip that I literally was like, "Yuck," and I was like, "I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it." Speaking of watching it, speaking of somebody needing to watch it, because guys, I thought Texas really was the most wild thing that this man can do. Just wait to see what we have in store for you. Y'all know what segment this is. This is Eric. Now, I cannot begin to formulate the I say this all the time jokingly, but I do think that something is wrong with him. I think he has some kind of learning disability where like things don't like, because the alternative is that he's just like an evil man, right? So there's a thing called the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal that holds migrant basically like asylum seekers and migrant people that are seeking housing, right? So it's basically supposed to be a shelter. They have a lot of asylum seekers from Venezuela and all places around the world. So they were getting a lot of what is it called? Criticism, complaints about the center being too cold, being poorly run, and they were asking for like action. So this man decided to go on a covert mission to go and sleep at the facility. And guys, he slept at the facility to investigate, right? To see what the conditions were really like, right? And nobody knew. It wasn't on his calendar. He just slipped in. And they have this man in a full 3-piece suit with the motherfucking pea coat and scarf on the cot. In the article, they said this man was in there playing video games with a blanket, just chatting up the people at the center. He claims that the center, he said, "I will not have anybody sleep somewhere that I won't. So that's why I decided to go." Right? That kind of makes sense. Does it? And then he said, yeah, he was talking to the people. They're very happy. The facility is well run. That is not true. People were complaining about the cold temperature. They were complaining about the food. They were complaining that they had so many men. I think it was like 20 to 25 men in one room with one bathroom. These are actually like real concerns that they had. Now, why the fuck would you bring your video game, sir?
Oh, it was his video? He brought his game?
You think that center had video games? You think
in my mind, it was somebody with a phone and he like grabbed it and was like hanging. I didn't, okay.
He brought his console to go string up. Also, they were saying like the place had no heats and there was like no extra blankets provided. Now, I just want to provide a clear depiction of, because I mean, one, we know that the U.S. is poor. We will not talk about the debt ceiling crisis right now. Protect your coins. But America is not a good host. Now, you say, I'm gonna, okay, let me help you guys. You guys are trying to seek asylum and come on in. The doors are open. Fine, wherever around the world. Why the fuck would you have somebody from Venezuela come to sub-0 degree? Like the other day, he was there he was there on the coldest night of the winter to prove how bad it's not, that they just need to toughen up.
He said that?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
I'll tell you what, he is consistent.
That's what I said. I said it's a learning distance. There has to be something not clicking for this man to not understand this. Like, and then like you have these people from hot climates and y'all bringing them over there with not enough blankets to provide, like to gently usher them into the cold. Like, I get it. They probably lived in very dangerous situations, but at least offer them some comfort, some type of safety and security for the
There's no
time being.
privacy either.
Exactly. So it's just like all these other psychological things that you can't just provide the one thing like warmth. Like warmth, like structural things, there's only one bathroom, there's only so much that we can do, but like basic things, and then you have the nerve to be like, oh, they need to toughen up. Sir, be fucking for real.
Yeah,
They
that's
have
really
lived a reality that you have no idea of, and you like, I and I y'all know me, I get very worked up. I think I'm very tame because I just don't have much, and I just, the mental gymnastics that I would have to do to, this man is unwell, and I don't know how the fuck we need to get this man out of here, but this is completely dangerous. I'm like, what a lack of humanity that he has to just be like, well,
Yeah.
I did it, well, you can too, sir.
and he's giving me a lot of Trump vibes, which is this idea of like just say what's on your mind.
Mhm.
And dumb people have the idea that being blunt and saying what's on your mind is like refreshing. It's not. It's a dumb thing. It's a dumb characteristic.
Yeah.
When you are a child, they make it very clear. Don't say everything that you want to say. Think before you speak. But yet we have adults just saying any old thing. Oh, it's so refreshing. No, it's not. It's stupid. It's unintelligent. Okay? And I'm not, he's probably no worse than any other politician we've had. But him, like Trump, they speak too fucking much.
Yeah.
And they bring too much attention to their wrongdoings. And he should go. Because I'm sure you've had other mayors who were also just as terrible.
Bloomberg.
And what did they do? Quietly did the disruptive things. You had to find out randomly, like, wait, what happened? Is a new law. But this idea of like, I want to get on TV and I want to say the things I really feel. I mean, thank you for letting me know how you feel. I guess that's good to know. But also, you're crazy. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you saying they should toughen up? First of all, many of the Venezuelan migrants literally walked here. They had to walk to the U.S., not to New York, but they had to walk from Venezuela to a border and get to America, to North America. That's pretty fucking tough. I've never had to walk through several countries
Right.
to get to seek asylum. I know he hasn't. I know for a fact he hasn't. And it's just like, why can't you say some of these things quietly or behind closed doors? Why do you feel the need to come on TV? And I think I take it so personally because he's a black man.
Mm.
And black people, we just have this community, and it's terrible. It's terrible that we feel so like responsible for other black people. It's really a burden because we are not a monolith and we are not the same people.
Right.
But when you see like the second black mayor in decades, right? And he's just an absolute buffoon.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're never going to have another one. We're never going to get a good one. Because
Right.
we may, and I hope we do, but it's just like, we have to take L's so much. We take such deeper L's than other ethnicities, other races. We take like the large L. So having this dummy just say stupid shit constantly on air with his straight face is so upsetting to me.
And as you say, like he's saying this on TV, then I'm thinking about the fact that now he's also a podcaster. I'm like,
Is he?
oh yes, he's adding podcaster to his title. Yeah, he's about to be a micro influencer.
He gonna be getting brand deals. He gonna be selling Fenty. This don't make no sense.
Oh baby, we're fucked. We are fucked. This is wild.
This is truly wild.
Like it hurts my heart.
Well, in the nature of people doing fucked up shit for no good reason, it seems, there's all these tech layoffs. And I'm not in tech, right? So I'm not in jeopardy of getting laid off. But there's all these tech layoffs. So people are saying like there's actually no reason why they're laying people off. Like it's not a money issue. It's not a revenue issue. So some of the speculation is that, we had the Great Recession and we had quiet quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of feels like some of these companies are trying to gain leverage and take us back to 2008 when people were fighting tooth and nail for jobs and taking any job they can. So now it's just like, let's just have mass layoffs. Like they don't have to necessarily do all these layoffs they're doing. But it's like, we want to let you guys know you're still under capitalistic rule. and you need us more than we need you.
Interesting.
That's a speculation. I mean, no one has come out right and said it, but because I have seen people just talk about. They were like, if you go by the numbers, they're not missing money. They don't.
Sounds like my job.
Yeah, they're just laying you off because they can. They have the power to. And then you have people who are high earners who are going to go who going to be devastated. Honestly,
Right.
you're making like 6 figures and now you're unemployment. Unless you have a great savings going on, what can you pay?
Yeah. So I had a coworker, his girl worked for a large company. It's not tech, but it's a corporation. I think they have like a tech aspect to it. And she was there for like, I don't know, I want to say like 10, 15 years or something. She's been with the company since the inception, kind of. Laid her off. She was going berserk. They gave her 6 month severance. I was like, tell that girl to go sit down and live her life. But I feel like because they're doing it to people who identity is tied to work, so they can they're trying to get the power back, because for so much workers were like, oh no, I'm gonna leave this comp package, like there's no brand loyalty or no job loyalty anymore, and they're just like, I'm gonna go where the money is, and the workers had the upper hand. And the fact that they're doing this, like, we are like, humanity is just this is
It's
sinister.
PU.
It's PU. It really is giving you. That's insane. And they're just laying people off because they can.
That's what a lot of people are saying. They were like, when they really go through the numbers, it's not necessary.
Right.
I mean, even like, think about like Netflix. They've had to now backpedal their passport sharing, and they're saying that it was not for America, it was for other countries. Also, that's fucked up for other countries. But now they're saying, no, we would not do that to you guys. And it was like, but why would you do it? And people were going crazy.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna just leave Netflix.
Me too.
Baby,
I'm not gonna get. Yeah, it was. I was out.
Yeah, I was gonna leave Netflix and get 2 of my BBC channels back, because, like, baby, I missed them, and y'all went up double the price. Like, y'all at $15 right now, sweetheart.
And they were talking about like, you had to, if you didn't log in, you had to log in from the home
network
IP every 31 days, so you'd be blocked. And she's like, y'all were doing too damn much. And why? You can't need money that bad. First of all, stop making these badass multi-million-dollar movies.
You people.
I haven't watched it yet.
Baby, don't.
I'm going to, for research.
I mean, like I said, it's nice to see the black people. If you just want to see a bunch of black faces on screen, don't feed too much into the material.
Wait, I saw a clip. I don't know if it's real or not, but they were saying it was they had photoshopped Lauren London and Jonah Hill kissing. Have you seen this TikTok clip?
I did not, but I one thing about it, we got to stop this. The chemistry-less romantic comedies, baby. I don't want it. I said, yo, they like boys, and not like, oh, my man is my boy. No, it was like boys, like, bro, oh, let's put, like, I was like, what is this? And then my mental illness, where I just deep think, and I was like, oh, as an actor, she probably doesn't feel like comfortable doing intimate scenes. Like, she probably over the grieving process, but that's just like, that's different to just like be thrust into like a intimate movie when you're in, like, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, why would she say yes to that?
Yeah, but then I think I saw the same thing, but they were showing her with Michael B. Jordan in that movie they had.
Oh, the one on Amazon. I didn't watch it.
And they were saying it's probably just Jonah Hill. Which, here's the thing,
baby.
Here's the thing.
His hair
Everyone
gave me deep. The way his hair is styled in this movie gave me deep contemplation. There were times where I could not focus, and I was just like, why would they let him do this to his hair? Like, it looks insane. It looks like the blonde is hovering. Like, it looks crazy.
And also, here's the thing. I just feel like we're not going to go into Kenya Barris's need for biracial what's the word? Representation. We're not going to go into that right now.
I love you. Would love to work with you, baby. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
But everyone is not attracted to white men. They're just not.
Mindy
And
Kaling.
I feel like people act as if that is just a standard. No, everyone is not into white men. And and when black women are into white men, and here's the thing, I don't think Jonah Hill's unattractive. He's not my type, but he's not someone I'm like, yuck, right? He's just whatever. I wouldn't go for him, but whatever. But like, if you're gonna pair a beautiful black woman with a white man,
Gorgeous.
why not be at like the same level of beauty?
I will say
And
that. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
no, I mean no, I understand beauty is subjective, blah blah blah. But Lauren London is like one of those like objectively beautiful women, right?
Yep.
And I do think there are objectively beautiful white men that we all agree, like, okay,
Right.
as someone who doesn't even like white men, I'd be like, well, it's the right kind of night.
Right.
And I don't think Jonah Hill is that person. And this is nothing against Jonah Hill. I just don't think. Listen, I didn't set the beauty standards. The white man did. Okay. When your how does that saying go? When your roosters come back to. This
What?
is. Let me.
When your roosters come back to crow.
Wait, hold on.
When the chickens come home to roost.
Yes. When the chickens come home to roost. When your chickens come home to roost. Like, I didn't set the beauty standards, whatever. You guys did. You guys made tall, chiseled chest, blonde hair, blue eyes, or dark sometimes, the white man beauty standard.
Mm.
So when I see a black woman who I think is gorgeous, I expect her to see with the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that's because the chemistry, who knows? We were not there. We have no idea what's going on. But it's like, what was happening there?
Baby. I mean, I don't listen. I mean, you know what? The positive spin is that I was like, per Lauren, get your bag, be in a film with like Julie Louis Dreyfus, who really carried the film, Eddie Murphy. Like, she's in a movie with icons, and there's a way for her to use this success to reach her audience of white people that she hasn't. So if that's why she took it, checkmate, do your thing, soar sis, soar, do your thing. I hope so, but otherwise, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, Jonah, he cool, I guess. He got good weed. No, that's the other one, Seth. I don't know.
Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, no, thank you, you people, and we good, we good. Yeah, Netflix, figure something else out, because y'all not putting out good content anyway. I'm watching on my blog. Y'all fumbling in the bag. Like we said, we give you money because y'all were doing some good shit. And we were like, well, if it's going to be more money for more good shit. But now it's like, no, baby.
And you guys fired the whole black division. Like we heard about that. we heard it. We know that's happening.
I'm sorry. I did not know. They fired the entire black division.
The diversity division.
Right. The biraciality of it all. Right. Our few moments of representation. Lord. And why don't they just see that the shows that do best is when they have like dark skin, like behind her eyes? But stay close. Listen, y'all need to figure it out, Netflix, because we gave y'all money. We did not hem and haw when y'all kept raising the price. Like, we did not. We said.
Let me tell you, I am an OG Netflix user. I used to get the DVDs. Okay. I used to get the DVDs in the mail. I am an OG Netflixer.
Oh, I still have 2 DVDs to this day. I forgot to return. What was for research? It's like a Korean movie about pyrotechnics and fireworks for that show I did in college that will not be named. And the other one was like some James Earl Jones does Shakespeare. I said, well, I'm going to keep it.
Do better. Do better, Netflix.
Do better, Netflix, because we can't. All right, so let's move on to our Subway. We haven't had a Subway series in a minute, so let's move on to our Subway series. Asia, you blew my
Okay,
mind
so
with this one. Let the people know, because
all right, guys. So I'm going to link the articles in our show notes and on our IG page. So you can really do your own deep dive. But basically, the air quality in the subway station is basura, and they're saying this. There's been studies back since 2021, so it's been years of doing this. But guess how I found out about this? TikTok. Now, why am I finding out about the fact that there are like cancer causing air quality in the subways via TikTok in 2023 when the research has been done since 2021? Because they don't give a damn about us. So it's not all. I think I'm gonna just make some numbers up. I think they did like 100 stations, and maybe half of the stations had these cancer causing toxins in the air. And they're saying it's because obviously we're underground.
no ventilation.
No ventilation, limited air coming from the surface to under the ground. And some stations are not just like one level under. Like I think like the J train and like those trains are like deep hidden Earth's mantle type low into the ground. Yep. And these stations were built in like what 19 somethings or even 1800s.
Yeah.
And that's not safe. So this really, and again, I'm gonna give you guys the full details in the show notes, but this is why, again, I'm not riding the train. I gotta deal with crime. Now I gotta deal with cancer. Right. There's cancer on the surface. I don't need to go find it.
I don't need to go to Earth's core because I'm trying to get to destination A to B. And I knew it because like the Chambers Street station on the J train, it is filthy. Like in the summertime, I hated going there because like I would get bitten by mosquito. Like it is I was like disease live here. Like you can't tell me now cancer causing. I'm gonna have to wear a hazmat suit.
You are.
Like this ain't it. Cancer for $275?
Right.
Baby, no. And then they're fucking up the budget. They shouldn't have a budget anyway. The money that they use and that they're always like, oh, we need to increase the budget. We need to increase the budget. For these new fucking trains, they got these open floor plan trains. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. One, where are the seats? Now, they have trains how they have trains in, where the fuck was I at? I want to say we were in Thailand. I don't think I took a train in Thailand. I probably did. I don't know. We took a train somewhere. It was some Asian country. Maybe we were in Hong Kong. I don't fucking remember. But it's given open floor plan. It's clean and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it works for them because they have a society of people that respect each other. Now, you're trying to tell me that one, they think that the unhoused people won't sit on those seats. They will. Or they will be on the floor. Like, baby, it's
laying between the cars.
There is no between the cars. It's just one long car, all connected with each other. So, like the shooting that happened like 2 weeks ago. So you're trying to tell me if somebody's shooting, then we have to worry about a mass stampede of people and a bunch of people who can't run to safety? Like, this is a safety issue. This is New York City, baby. Like, crime is still criming. This is not a good idea. And y'all spent all this money for this prototype. And now y'all and what happened to the old trains? Fix the old trains. Just do some repairs. Like, what are y'all doing spending all of this money? This is why we in fucking debt. $31 trillion or $61 trillion. Like, baby, manage the budget better. And y'all want me to...
And I mean... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And as I think we've all had to change cars for numerous reasons. Sometimes, and this is no hate to people who are unhoused, the car just stinks. Especially in the summertime, I can't stay in here. Like, you ever get into that empty, homeless encampment subway car and you got to make it to the next station? Please. Now there's no more making it. Even like, as a woman, like for safety, sometimes you got to hop off, hop back on a few cars down. Now the man is watching you like, I see you.
And
he's waving from the car that's open now. Like, it just makes no sense.
And on a train, it's a culture of see something, don't say shit. Okay, so now I'm running, and he run into with me. Like, what are we doing?
You can't even close the door behind you to hold him in. He just gonna. There's nothing happening.
And then you're gonna have people smoking cigarettes and cracking shit on the train, and then like now, in addition to the cancer, I also have to get crack fumes. Cause I hate 125th on the 4 train. There is always somebody in there smoking crack, and I'm just like, that's wild.
Yeah.
But like, do your thing. I'm gonna go down the other end, and I hope no crack has seeped into my system. Cause
Right.
what the fuck? So I don't know what the plan is around this. We will keep in watchful eye. I may even go to the protest because I'm done. I'm done with this. This is some bullshit. Okay. Anyway, let's wrap this up. The subway sucks. There are some positives, but guys, wear your mask, not only for COVID, but so you don't get cancer. And yeah, we're gonna take a break. I'm rambling. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we will have the Coily Diva. And we are back, and we're getting right into our So, guys, as we spoke about earlier, we are going to talk about Black hair. It's Black History Month, and why would we not talk about Black hair? We got a bald-headed one, somebody who's always changing their hair, and our lovely guest here. So, who do we have here today, Asia?
We have, well, my favorite cousin.
Wow.
But she goes by the Diva Reese, and she goes by the Coily Diva. She is a hair influencer, and she knows her shit. She just transitioned. Well, it's been 2 years now.
It's been since December 31st, 2020. So yes.
Okay.
2 years.
So we have watched her transition and become a hair professional. We're now asking her questions. I've been natural, so who knows long. I'm a Sharice. So by the way, how do I you think I should because she has taken the time to do the research. She's testing products, so it made sense to have her on the show to discuss Black hair.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And welcome, Sharice. Guys, or do you go by the Coily Diva? What do you want us to call you?
Either one, Coily Diva, Sharice, whatever. Sharice is my government name. That's fine.
Okay. And if y'all don't hear, I love Reese's accent. She's so New York with it. Okay. So, natural hair. Look at all these Black women. We got stories to tell, honey.
Yes.
We have got some stories to tell. Just like, okay. So, I don't think we have any white people listening to our podcast. Maybe some of my white friends. I don't think they're going to listen to this episode. But we're just going to do like a little, an abridged version of how we figured that we got here with this whole natural hair predicament. This sword, this rose in our thorn, like side of our thorn or whatever the saying is. But, all right, we know it all, as Asia loves to say. It stems from what?
White supremacy.
It stems from white supremacy, dead ass. So it just 1770s. That's when the whole good hair versus bad hair can't come into play because we are what now? We've been stolen from our land. We are now in this white world, and we were told that we were inferior because of the way that our hair is. It doesn't manipulate in the way that white people's does, and our hair, according to white people back then, looks more like animals than it did like hair. So we were deemed, one of the things that they said, this is why we are inferior, is because, like, look at their hair. So what happens was you had people assimilating hairstyles to mimic white, whatever the white style was, to say, listen, my hair can do what your hair can do, so we are therefore not inferior. And that's how we get this this gray area of assimilation and survival within your hair. And then you fast forward to the 50s and 60s where they say, well, look, this isn't working. We are putting chemicals in our hair, the conch. Everybody remember that scene from Malcolm X when that man had to put his head in a toilet because that conch was burning his soul. Okay? So they were like, why are we doing this? Like, let's embrace who we are. I want my hair to be how it how it grows from my hair naturally. And it was a very political statement. It was it was an affront to like whiteness and assimilation. Is like, no, I am black is power. I'm black and I'm proud. I am gonna be who I am. And then we had the 70s and 80s and then the 90s, the boom of the perm, okay, has resurged. And I fell victim to that. Oh, did I want a perm so bad? Okay. And then you go into the 2000s where we say, cancer? Who? No. we're gonna wear our hair the way it is. And now we're here somewhere in a gray where I find it to be a really interesting time in black hair care, because the people that went natural to embrace who they are, they're going back to perms, and it's such a politicized viewpoint. It's really tricky to watch, but it's also really interesting to me because I'm like, it sometimes it's not that deep like for most people anymore. It's as far as convenience, it has nothing to do with their blackness, because we, as much as people are perming their hair, people are wearing wigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who cares about that conversation, in my personal opinion? But yeah, so now we're here. We are in people are in various stages. Asia has decided to go bald. Asia, you go first, because you've been natural the longest out of all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I've had all the hairstyles so far. Like I've dabbled in I've had dreads for like 3 or 4 years. I had my hair permed twice. It fell out both times, by the way. Like, so as thick and as forcey as my hair is, it cannot handle chemicals. I've had braids, of course. I've had my hair cut short twice in my life. This is the longest run, but I had it cut off from 2000, I think 2009 to about 2011. I was also working a Caesar because of a bad perm. And the first time I cut my hair off, like that felt no. Let's rewind. I had dreads, and we discussed it on the podcast all the time. I had dreads, and I think I was having a mental breakdown in retrospect. But I had dreads, and I decided I was done with having dreads, and I like combed them out. So I cut off some length. Then I literally just got a lot of conditioner and went crazy, and I combed out my dreads, and I had hair, and then I was like, oh, I'm natural. And that was my first like real natural time. Before that, I was getting what's it called? Not silk press. But back in the day, that was not a silk press. That was a hot comb.
Mm-hmm.
The hair was not
press and curl.
I had to press the hair. The hair was not bobbing. The hair was not bobbing. Okay, I ain't never had a silk press. Quick story. When I got my senior pictures in high school, I took a picture of Kelly Rowland. Remember Kelly Rowland with the perm, like the hair, the flyaways, the layered,
oh my god, the flip,
the layered flip, right? So I take a magazine picture, right? Because this is a 2002. Take a magazine picture to the hairstylist. This lady was old, of course, like, she was using a hot comb still, and I forgot her name, Miss somebody, who knows. And I'm like, Miss somebody, it's my senior pictures, can you do this? And I give her the picture, and she's looking at it, and she's like, yes babe, I could do this. So she's to my back is turned to the mirror the whole time, and she's pressing as she does, and she's grabbing the rollers, and she's clipping, she's looking at the picture, so I'm like, yo, when I turn around, I'm about to be Kelly Rowland. When I turned around, she did what she had been doing the other 50,000 times. Just a little bump here in the front for the bang, a little bump here, a little bump there. Nope, nothing. And I said, thank you. And I paid my $20, $30, and I went home depressed because I was just like, why look at the picture? Why have my hopes up? She kept looking. No, she flipped it under.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm just like, but there was.
I just think of Nene in that she's like, she had to curl up.
That's what it was. I was just like, why didn't you just anyway, so my first true natural hair experience was when I took my dreads off, and it was just such a an odd experience because people did feel like it was very political or like very like, okay, natural sister. And I'm just like, whoa, whoa. It really caught me off guard. Like it made me, it felt so strange to go from like not caring to now I'm this natural sister. I'm like, I'm down for the cause. I'm like, I just didn't perm my hair. Like, why am I now having to defend my hair? Like, I'm walking to school down 125th Street, and then all the Africans are like, "You want hair braid? You want hair braid?" And it's like, "No, my hair is done. I did it this morning. I took the time to do it." And I remember, just in terms of like, because like, this was like, okay, I can. This is maybe 2005, maybe 2006. I'm not sure what year this was. So natural hair was really not talked about. It was very confusing. And I remember like asking my mother, what should I do? And she was like, well, don't get any products with water. Like water is going to give too much shrinkage. And I was like, I'm like, alcohol. That's the first ingredient. I'll take that.
Oh my
Because like I was avoiding water like the plague because I didn't want to deal with shrinkage because, embracing our hair shrunken is also another act of, what's the word? An act of revolution. Like you're not gonna stretch your hair. I remember spending hours. I remember having to go to school and go to work, and the night before I'm washing my hair, and it's hours of me, braiding it down, stretching it, making sure I have some length the next day because God forbid people know that my hair is, an inch short when it's not stretched out, and really the stress that it caused to have my hair quote unquote presentable when its natural form is presentable, and then you have to deal with like older Black people who are just like this pickaninny, all the crazy ass things they're gonna call you for daring to wear your hair natural. Like, what are you doing? How you don't care about you? You're not presenting yourself well with your natural hair, and it's just like, but this is my hair. This is the way it grew. This is the way your hair grows, also. And then, and lastly, I'm gonna just touch on this for open the floor. I remember when I had again I was still natural, and I was go to Dominicans, and I would just have them wash it and do rollers. I didn't get it blown out because there's too much heat, and I by this time I had known like heat was not the best thing for me. Okay. And this is a whole different conversation when it comes to Dominicans and Blackness, but we're going to touch on it. But I remember going to some Dominican shops, and the lady's hair is way thicker than mine. And she's trying to charge me $15 extra for texture. And I was like, it goes by length. You guys don't charge by texture. So don't make up new rules because I'm in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like there was a salon near my house that I stopped going to because she tried to charge me like more money for texture. And I had to walk a few blocks to the other lady whose brush broke in my hair when she was
The trauma.
And she was like, no, mommy, it's okay. And she was like saying to me, she's like, I have the same hair. Like it was no extra charge. Mm-hmm. And of course she got the good old tip. And I went and bought her brush. But I said, what brush is this? I'm going to go buy you one because this is crazy. But just like having to like, already there's so much, what's the word? Self-esteem attached to Black women and their hair. Mm. I know it's all women, but Black women particularly, we don't get to do messy buns. We don't get to just swoop to the side. We have to always do our hair, and there's so much attached to it. And like going through the natural process, and also at the age I was at when I was like still evolving to who I am today and still figuring myself out, it was stressful as fuck. It was very stressful.
Yeah, you were the first person when I decided to go natural. You said to me, "Oh, wait until the first moment where you look yourself in the mirror and you're gonna cry because you're gonna think you're ugly." And I was like,
I said that?
Yeah, it was you and Alex who said that. And like, y'all were like, I was like, oh yes, like all my friends were natural. Alex had her beautiful afro. You had your afro. I was like, y'all always just like look so good. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get my afro like this. Like, and y'all said that. And I said, wait, come again? I'm going to ugly cry because I'm going to think I look ugly because I was like, ain't no way. And then when I finally went natural, I said, I see. I see. So you went from a perm to, you had locks and then you combed them out, and that was the locks was basically your transition, and then you went into natural hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Reese, why did you decide to transition 2 years ago? Like, cause kind of that's like late to the natural hair game boom, or
Right. So it was, I want to say 2018. I used to get relaxers and go to the Dominicans, get my hair blown out, wash and set every 2 weeks faithfully. So then in 2018, the lady was like, your hair is breaking off. And I was like, oh, really? She was like, yeah. She said, you should stop getting relaxers. So I was like, okay. So I stopped getting relaxers. And then from that point on, my hair was heat trained. I would get it washed, rollers, blow dried, bone straight. And then I would just do that every 2 weeks. So fast forward to 2020, pandemic happened. We couldn't go to the salon. So I was already, done with the relaxer. So I was like, what am I going to do? And my hair was just growing and the roots were like giving root. So I was like, ooh, this is not right. So I was like, oh my gosh. So the ends were so straggly. It looks just like just noodles. Imagine an afro with noodles hanging from it. I was like, yo, my hair is wild. What is this? I was like, I guess I'm natural. So then that's how it started. So 2020 is when I started to transition. So I would just wear my hair just like, girl, it was nappy. It was just so tough. I couldn't even do it. I was like, how am I going to do my hair? It was just the roots was so thick and the ends were so straggly that every time I like comb my hair, just big chunks is just coming out, like coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. So I just put it in like 5 braids going back. And then I learned on YouTube how to do crochet. So I would crochet the hair into my braids. And then I was just rocking it like that for like a year and a half. And that was my go-to. And then December 31st, 2020, I was like, I got to cut this hair off. I have to. It's just, what am I going to do? There's no more. So I called Asia and my sister on 3-way and they helped me through the process. I was like, I got to cut this hair. They're like, you doing it right now? I'm like, yeah, before the new year. We're going to cut this all off before the new year. So I told my husband, I was like, I'm about to cut my hair. He was like, you cutting your hair? I was like, yeah, I'm cutting you see these straggly pieces? I'm cutting them off. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay. I thought he was going to be like, no, why you cutting your hair? Why you doing this? He was like, okay. Yeah, cut it off. I was like, okay. Give it to him. So, went in the bathroom, got the scissors, got a spray bottle with some water, some, I think, conditioner, and I did the first piece. I was like, clip. And
she was so scared.
I was so scared.
We were like, girl, cut that hair. She was cutting like, we said, if you don't cut that damn hair.
It was so scary. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be bald-headed. They was like, girl, you have so much hair. Look how thick your hair is. I was like, no, it's not. I don't have that much hair. They're like, girl, yes, you do. So I'm cutting, a little bit. They like, do more. They like, find the line of demarcation. I'm like, ugh, that's too little. Because it was like, you know how your hair shrinks, right? So it was like, let's say this is my hair. Yeah. This is where the line was. But then when you stretch it, it goes longer. So it was like, just cut it. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I started cutting. Then we get to the front. And I cut, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I got this little fro, like, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, look at my hair. They was like, oh, it looks so good. And I'm just standing there like, yo, I got no hair. I'm bald-headed. They're like, you're not bald-headed. And my hair was so thick. I mean, like, thicker than I even imagined when I had the straight pieces on it because it was weighing it down. So it was just so thick and just fluffy and just soft. And I was like, ooh, this is so easy to manage. Why was I keeping those straggly pieces on for so long? I could have been cut them off. So, next day, woke up, washed my hair, had some little curls. I was like, ooh.
Isn't that so like refreshing when you see like your first, like your actual hair texture? Like, it is so like I don't know, kind of like liberating, but also like because also we grew up like with the whole natural hair movement, like everybody wanting a coil, a curl, right? They were like, oh, love your curls. And I was like, well, after a while I was like, yeah, my hair does curl, but I was like, it's not a curl,
right?
And that's when the whole like the types are you a type A, type B? And everybody wants to be a type 4B hair with the coils and the silkiness of it all. And I was like, no, I have 4C hair. It does have coils when it's wet, but when it dries, it's
It's giving afro. Yeah.
It's giving afro. It took a minute for me to embrace that, because I was for the longest time. Also, I went natural on a whim. I'm in Aries. I do everything on a whim. I was watching Mahogany, right? With some friends. We were having movie night, and Diana Ross's hair was just so like, it was just bouncing. It was beautiful. And my friend was like, yeah, she don't have a perm, right? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, no, that's just like her natural hair blown out. And I was like, well, I want that. I want that. And I was like, and from that day, I was like, okay, I'm going natural. I transitioned by getting weaves. So I had a sew-in for, I want to say like 6 months. I had a sew-in to transition. The first one, I looked crazy as fuck. I looked like Dora. It was like a little bang situation. Bob, like it was like, because I was like, I wanted to look like my natural hair, like give me a little bob with a bang or whatever. I looked fucking insane. And then my second one, I had like the Beyonce bob. And after a while, it just got so hard to blend the hair. And I was just like, okay, it's looking crazy. So I took the weave out, and then I went to my hairstylist and I was like, okay, cut it. And then I think I got one last weave, and then I took that shit out, and I was just like, okay, I'm natural now. My family lost their mind. My grandmother said, why you don't do your hair? And I was like, it is done. I think I had a twist out too. I was like doing twist outs with Bantu knots. Now, I knew that like you had to keep your hair moisturized. And I knew like I was deep into the YouTube girly bag. This is before I graduated college. So I think I went natural in like 2007 or something. So I was like heavy in the YouTube community. I was like making my own whipped shea butter. When I tell you my hair was so oily, like in the summertime on a hot day, I would have to like do this.
Wear a
to like
sweatband.
to get the oil that was like literally dripping into my eyes when it was like too hot. I was just over saturated my hair with too many oils. And I had a greasy ass afro for like 2 years. Like 2 fucking years of a greasy ass afro. But I was just I loved it though. I was like, yes, I would blow it out, twist it and Bantu knot it, and then it'd just be like wet from oil. And then I'll do that shit again all over again. And I was like using white people products to wash my hair because that's what the YouTube girlie said was good. And I was like, right, it's giving. It wasn't.
So I'm asking Sharice, because I know like there's been talk, and it is true, because like I said, even in the early stages of YouTube hair influencers, it was like we kind of went to anyone. We didn't realize that everyone's hair is different. Mm-hmm. Like it was like, and I don't think the YouTube girlies did it on purpose. I think they didn't know either. But it was just like, your hair is not like mine. So you're telling me, oh, just do this, just use these products and you'll get the same look. And it was like, I am not achieving the look. And I got the same exact products. And then we had to learn, because you have different texture hair, you have this, you have that. So on your YouTube, on your like journey, like how did you know which girls to follow? Did you have a trial and error period of like, oh, that girl is not the same kind of hair I have, and this is not working for me? How was that for you?
Before I big chop cut the raggedy pieces off, I was just watching everybody natural because I didn't know what my hair was going to be like. I was like, I don't know what my hair is going to be like, so let me see what everybody's doing. And then when I cut it off, I was like, oh, it's giving thicker than a Snicker. So hold on, we got to follow this girl, that. Oh wait, do that look like mine? A little bit. Let me see. Oh no, skip. Next. So I was just following girls whose hair looked like mine, whose hair was like super, super thick, 4C hair. And I just went with them. And it worked out good. For the most part. I mean, I had a few trial and errors with product buildup, flaking. Yeah, stuff like that. But for the most part, I just followed.
Because you try everything.
I got the whole lineup over there. Products.
What did you Which products did you start with? Did you start with like black owned products? Like I started with Aussie Moist, Holy Grail back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Aussie Moist before Pantene decided to go black and they had that black Gold Series hair shit.
Mm-hmm.
Trash, but yeah. What did you start with?
I did start with black owned product. I started with Maya Organics, and then I went on to like natural products, planted hair care. I went to Taraji P. Henson, and I was just looking for black owned stuff because I'm like, okay, if they black, they know black hair. So I was just going like that. And then I started, trying other stuff when I see on like, let's say their Instagram page, if they're promoting black hair, then I'm like, okay, maybe it does work for me. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. And right now I have a subscription with Curlbox and I get products every month, new products to try that's for textured hair. So that's.
Jump out of that right now. Let me tell you right now, as somebody who was like Curlbox, jump out right now. Curlbox is going to have you in a chokehold,
I'm in it.
Girl. I mean, you're an influencer now, so I'm pretty sure it's worth it for you. But the products coming in every month, and you like, oh no. I was like, I'm done. I just need to find staples because that gave me too much anxiety. Because I'm like, oh, what is this supposed to do? Then you go to YouTube, you be like, oh, how does this supposed to work?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Right, let me do it.
I'm hooked.
Oh,
I love it.
Are you?
I was doing it for a while too, but really, I mean, I have no hair, right? So it really was overwhelming for me because I can't even go through the products fast enough. So it's just like another box is here. I'd open the last box. I was like, I can't do this no more. But I did find some stuff that I'm surprisingly Palmer's. I actually like the Palmer stuff. I will say having shorter hair and my hair is not important to me. It's just not. It's not. I don't have any more. So I'm quick to, like, as you guys know, if I have extensions in, I'll cut them off. I don't even take the braids. I don't even take my braids out. I will cut the extension off. I will cut the extension off at the root and have a bald spot and then be like, well, I'm not have a Caesar. So products mean way less to me than it used to. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, I'm like, just shave your head off. Just go bald again. It'll grow back. But I was getting so many curl boxes. Like there was some unopened. Because it was just coming so fast. But I did enjoy it when I was doing it. I did. It was cool to have like new products each month.
Yeah, I think I'm somebody who's like always trying to achieve length. I think now I'm in a place where I'm just like, I don't care. I don't like all the things going on in my world. Like my hair needs to be the last thing. But as somebody, I was always like trying to achieve length. So I would try everything. Like I was doing the Ayurvedic products, making my own stuff at home. Now my routine is very much neglect and then hydrate. That's really what it is. It's like I'll put like I have these twists in. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I hydrate my hair so it can be healthy because it's like kind of breaking off right now. And no, I just remembered to grease my scalp the other day because I was like. I said, it's giving dry. So how did you, so you transitioned in basically 2020, you were completely natural, right?
2021.
Sharice? Oh, 2021.
December.
Okay, so January.
Yeah, January 1st. Mm-hmm.
Got you. So were you back to work at that time? Did you ever have like, a thought of like once you went natural, like, oh, what am I gonna do with my hair at work? Like what will other people say? Like you say your husband was like, okay, very accepting of it. But did you ever think about like what other people, like once you get to work, what that conversation would be like?
Well, at first, because it was the pandemic, I wasn't going to the office. I was working from home 5 days a week. So when we have a Zoom call, camera off. I mean, the camera has been off the whole time because why you need to see me. But I didn't think about it for real. And then when I had to go to work, to the office, I was like, okay, we're rocking a twist out, taking my twist out. And I came just like this. And one lady was like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so good. A black lady. A white lady was like, oh, your hair is different. And I was like, oh, is it? Right. And then she was like, yeah, there she goes. And touches my hair. I died. She touched my hair. And I was like, you know how you like, it's just
Right.
automatic, you jerk, right? And then she's gonna say, my husband's hair does that. And I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, he doesn't wear like that often, but I want him to. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, how did
Is he black?
No,
He's Jewish.
probably. And I was
That
like,
is wild as
okay,
hell.
whatever. So then that's it. And then I wear my hair in I mostly, because it's cold now, I wear my hair in twist, pulled back into a bun because, I don't want my hair to be dry and crispy and crunchy. So that's that. Or if not, I wear my twist out. Sometimes I wear a high puff. And that's it. That's what you're going to get. I mean, this is my hair. Other than those two people, nobody say anything. Some people say, oh, your hair looks good. I'm like, thank you.
Right. Has your relationship with your hair changed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in what way?
I'm taking care of it. Before I used to just wrap it up and put the scarf on and we out. That's it. Then go to the Dominicans and get it done. That's it.
So you never used to do your own hair? Like, you would go to the Dominicans, they would do your hair, and the most you would do is just wrap it up at night and comb it. Oh, wow. So you really had to, like, go to, like, hair education school.
I mean, in high school, I used to do my hair, a little slick. You know how we used to have the little swoopity with the ponytail? I used to do that stuff, but no, I used to just let them handle it. I mean, I might grease my scalp every now and then if it starts, getting dry, but that's about it. Nope. I was going faithfully every 2 weeks, like clockwork. They was getting my money. So I didn't have to do nothing.
Wow.
And Sharice is also tender.
Very.
So I remember, like, when she started, like, we're on FaceTime watching her comb her hair, and she's just like every comb is like.
Yes, I'm very tenderheaded.
So how did you overcome or cope with tenderheadedness?
Well, because I'm doing it. I'm gentle with myself because I don't want to hurt myself. So take it easy and do it slow. Add more water. Water is your best friend when you're natural. Add more water and it'll be all right. If it hurt, I'm stopping. I'm not doing that. Oh, that's too tight. Take it out. That hurts. Not doing it.
Yes. Can we talk about the tight hold that hair had on us? We all wanted we all loved to have our hair so tight. Our eyes are like pulled back. Like we had a kid with a mini facelift. I remember my hair was so tight one time. I got a whole bunch of tight bumps in the back of my head. And I went to school and I had a headache all day. And as a kid having a headache, it's really crazy because you can't really voice like, I need aspirin or take this hair out. And I came home, my grandmother was like, take it out. And my aunt, who's crazy, she had spent hours doing this like style with like rubber bands, like, like the ponytail rubber band, like that. And she had spent hours doing it. And I went back to her and she was so upset that I had taken my hair out. And my mom was like, but she was in pain. And it was like, pain is beauty. And it was like, no, pain should not be beauty. This is not okay. Like, I'm disabled temporarily. Like my brain is melting because my hair is so tight.
Yeah, I think I have traction alopecia for that. Like, I already have fine hair, but because my mother used to braid my hair and she braids so tight, and I think for so many years it just kind of, with already fine hair, there's certain styles that I can't like hold for too long. Like, even when I used to go to the Africans before I would like speak up for myself, because the last time I went, like, I used to love this salon. The girl, it was very problematic because the girl who did my hair could not communicate on a level that myself and most of society could communicate. So telling her like it was too tight kind of just like didn't register to her. So I definitely had the tight bumps like for like 4 weeks. And I was just like, this is it. I need to learn how to do my own hair. I'm not like, it kind of brought me back to flashbacks of like getting my hair done with my mother. And I really couldn't say anything. She was like, don't matter. It needs to be neat. And I just would like go around with tight ass braids. Like, going to bed would hurt so bad. I'd just be like laying like, like literally.
And that was so normal.
It really was. But I was like, when I go to school tomorrow, this style gonna be busting, no?
Yeah, we were just in pain.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that. My mother used to braid my hair so tight, and she got mad one time. I took it right out after she finished. Like, nope, I cannot handle this. this is too tight. She was like, why you take your, because it hurts and I can't even think. How am I gonna walk? I can't walk. My head is like this heavy. I'm like no, And that's when I knew, nope, I'm doing my own hair. Then I started doing my little gel, slathering all that gel on, and I was just a ponytail girl.
Oh,
Because Sharice got her perm really early compared to I know compared to me. I'm not sure about your sister. She got her perm really early, but Sharice has like really thick hair. Like I just call it like horsehair. Like every strand is like every strand is like a wire cable. She has extremely thick
It's
hair.
thick, but it's fine.
how-
I have a lot of strands, but my strands are fine. Yeah,
how old were you when you got your first perm?
I think 3.
3 years
I think
old.
it was 3.
Yeah, she was mad young.
It might have been 2, but 3. I'm gonna say 3.
Oh wow! So you've been religiously permed from 3 years old up until
2020. Well, 2017.
until 2017. Did you like initially? So after you got off the phone call with them, right? And you just it's like you in the mirror in the bathroom by yourself.
I went
right?
to sleep.
You look in the mirror.
I had to sleep. I was
You
like, I
did?
gotta be dreaming. I went to bed. I woke up like, did I look at my hair? And I still got a new Ziploc bag.
You do?
I do with the date on it. Memories.
Oh, that's yeah. Do you feel like liberated now, or you're just like this is just, or is it like just like not that deep? For
Yeah,
you?
I feel free. I feel light. I feel more, grown.
Okay, that is
I mean, yeah, that wasn't a decision made for you before you had any decision making power of yourself.
right.
And so this is like you making your hair decision as a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's work. That's per because I had to beg for a perm. I wanted to be just like that little girl in a Just For Me box.
The gag.
bad.
They wasn't even permed.
So, and when I found out, I said, "Wow."
They was natural the whole time.
Got him.
Right. I
Wow.
said my mother was right. I didn't need a perm. I did not need a perm. And my hair was so fine. It really just like slicked. We did not know what we were doing with hair. Now my
Yeah.
Dominican blowout used to bust. I'm not gonna hold you.
Mm-hmm.
They do a great job. I mean, your hair is fried and dyed, but they do a great job. They blow that hair straight.
Yes.
Yes.
They get you right every time.
Right. Okay, so that's I mean, you had a pretty unique like besides the woman, like there was like no backlash or recourse when you went to work, right? It was just like, do you work with mostly like what's the diversity of your office?
It's me and them. What do you mean?
Like is it like a mix of black like cultures, or is it like mostly white people?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mostly white people. And for the most part, nobody, like besides the woman who touched your hair, which is traumatic in and of itself, there was like no, you didn't think that other people like in the office would look at you differently because now your hair is natural.
I honestly didn't care. I was like, if y'all gonna discriminate against me because I'm the one black one here, it's on and popping. So,
But you're the only black woman in the office?
I think it's two or three of us. Yeah. So, and the other girl's,
Okay.
is she natural? Her hair is kind of like Asia's. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I just went in like, this is me. Hello, hey, how you doing? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I brought that up because like there's so many people that's being discriminated for how they just wear their natural hair. Like that's why the whole Crown Act was initially like the coalition was started in the first place. It was like such an influx of children being sent home from school. There were people at corporate jobs getting backlash for the way that they wear their hair, for being told it's not professional enough. There are oftentimes where I have friends, like if they wanted to get braids for vacation or whatever, they'd be like, oh, I don't feel like going through the rigmarole of having braids and it being a topic of discussion when I come into the office, or thinking that, one, it's too ghetto, it's unprofessional. There's so many people who don't show up and wear their hair the way that they want to,
Yeah.
because they're afraid of what's going to happen. And this is why, like, the Crown Act was passed, and it's in like 14 states and 32 municipalities or some shit like that. So yeah, that's just why I asked, because I think it's I mean, maybe it's not unique. Maybe the uniqueness is a discrimination, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it was a good time to do it because we were hot off the race wars, right? And it was just like,
Don't say nothing.
you got a black do you got a black square? Did you donate? Like, don't even do it. Don't even do it. So I think it was, and I don't know, I'm not talking about your job, I'm talking about people's mindset. If you were open to like not being a racist, it was like, listen, I don't want to push the buttons. Either I'm going to just accept it because it's not my business, or I'm just too afraid to get involved in this conversation because I don't want to be canceled.
I think it's also where I work.
Right.
They're very liberal. And I don't want to say where I work, but they're very liberal, and they're very all for the people rather than the government. So they don't really care for real. They're like, okay, hey. They're not going to.
They were like, this is really good for
Exactly,
the
the
company
profile,
the
right?
picture.
You know what? I haven't taken my new
Giving
picture. I got to take my new
diversity.
picture. Oh my gosh. That's a good reminder. But yeah, they're fine. They're not saying anything. And if they are, they're not saying it to me or around me where I can hear it, or it's not getting back to me. So,
Which is
exactly
all that matters.
Truly. I
just want to touch on like the idea, like when and I want to say people who are ignorant, right? When they try to throw the fact that Black girls wear weaves and perm their hair, you said it earlier, but I want to really like drive the fact home. Like, we do that because we literally had to. We were not allowed to wear our hair natural or in braids, right? Like they applaud. I think Bo Derek, the first person to wear braids on TV. And it was like, that was a white woman who's appropriating a style. And yet she gets all the applause for wearing braids on TV. And it's like, we wanted to, we literally couldn't. So it's odd when people try to throw in our faces that we wear wigs and weaves as if that was our original plan. As if we said, you know what, I'm not going to wear my afro or you literally said you cannot work here if you don't have your hair in a style that is likened to a white woman's hairstyle.
crazy.
Which is presentable. Crazy. And it's like, so I followed the rule you set for me, and now I'm somehow a sellout, or I'm somehow not being true to myself. I need a job. Okay, I have bills to pay. I'm gonna do what I have to do to pay these bills. And I remember one of my old jobs, I was an intern, so I was also natural then. They didn't care what I looked like. They were just like, come do your fake hours and go home. But this Black lady in the office from England, she was wearing a terrible wig, and she had stopped me, and she's like, "Oh, they don't mind you wearing your hair natural hair?" And I was like, no one has said anything to me. I don't know. I'm also an intern, so I don't know if they even care how I look. And she was saying she's going to stop wearing her wigs because she had been relocated from England to New York, but she interviewed with the England branch for the job. And she was like, and she went in with her natural hair, and they were just like, oh, everything is good, but like maybe try a different hairstyle. So when she came to the New York branch, she was wearing a wig, terrible wig, like just one of those helmet wigs. And I was like, I said, I don't know, because again, I'm an intern. I don't know if they care what I do. And then she was like, and so from then she started wearing her hair natural, and she was fine. I guess the New York office didn't care either. But like, she was like, get in this corner. What you doing? Massa gonna see you. What you doing with your hair out, girl?
I'm dead. I'm dead. That is crazy. I did, like, when I was in, like, I have a weird relationship with like my hairstyles now. Like, I've been natural for forever, and I change up my hairstyles very frequently. Like, I just kind of don't care, but I do, because I'm like, do I feel like having the conversation of my hair? Because I work in white spaces. I work in the restaurant industry, so it's like, depending on the clientele, everybody is just like oblivious. So it's like, oh, you changed your hair. Oh, like if I wear my natural hair, they're like, oh my God, it's so nice. Like, even when I was in acting school, so there's a physical aspect of it. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to take care of my hair. I'm just going to wear wigs because I don't want to like, it was like one day I had just washed my hair and I was in movement class and they were like, oh, everybody put your head on the floor. And I was like, literally, I was like this. And then she was like, Ty, release your neck, release your neck. And I was like, and I literally turned over to my teacher, Kana, and I said, Kana, I just washed my hair. I'm not putting my hair on this floor. I said, when the last time y'all swept? And she just started laughing and she was like, okay, Ty. And then she just like walked away. And I was like, okay, from that day, I was like, I'm just going to wear wigs. So I was in class after a few months and my teacher turns to me, he's white, he's a white man. And he was like, Ty, you know, he was like, why do you wear wigs? And I was like, what? And this came out of literally nowhere. He was like, why do you wear wigs? And I was like, because I want to protect my hair. He was like, you don't want to wear your natural hair? I was like, I do, but I want to protect my hair. I sweat, I work out, like I'm not whatever. So I come to find out he had this black student the year before me who only wore wigs, would never be seen without her wig on. And he like, I guess made her love herself and embrace who she was. And there's a clip somewhere on the internet where she just expresses her gratitude for doing this. I'm laughing, but I do understand for her, like it really was a moment for her. But I'm laughing because I was like, how dare you white man think that I have the same affliction that this girl had? No, I actually don't care. I will have big crochet. I'll have I change my hairstyle. So I will wear a different wig every day if I want to because I want to. But it's just, sometimes it's just so daunting walking into a space knowing that your hair is going to be the topic of discussion, especially in white spaces. I actually hate it. Like even when I had these twists in, my manager was like, oh, Ty, you changed your hair. Because I had like a curly fro situation. And I was like, yeah, I changed my hair 3 days ago. Like, let's move on. Let's move on, sir. How about you buy liquor for the bill?
Right. I'm gonna get deep for 1 second. It's fake deep, right? I was thinking about this earlier, and I was thinking about the podcast and like what we're going to talk about. And I was like, one of the things that I learned about natural hair that was so like, I don't know what the word is, like enlightening to me was that even though we have like the most coarsey of hair, it's the most sensitive, right? And it requires so much gentle care, right? Because people think, oh, your hair is nappy. You can just our hair requires the most attention and the most like patience with it. And I was just thinking about earlier when we were talking about like people having anxiety and being black, and it was like from the top of our hair to the bottom of our feet, black women are just seen as these extremely hard figures. And it's just like, no, we are the most empathetic. We are some of the most sensitive people. We need so much care. We need so much gentleness. We need so much patience. And it's just like, there's this huge, you see that, right? You see that.
I see where you're going.
And it's just so crazy that like, we have to go into a space and always defend our hair. We have to defend our personality. We have to defend everything. And it's just like, we're very sensitive, but we are not allowed to be sensitive. And the same way, like when we just add water to our hair, it gets much softer and it grows and it retains length. The same when we are around people who are giving us like emotional nourishment and compassion and patience, we also become better people. And I was just like, it's just, we really are like this being that is not being seen in the right light. And I don't think it's fair we have to like campaign for ourselves. But it's just like once we know, it's like I know. I don't, again, I don't have hair, but when I do grow my hair once in a while, I do take care of it. I like, I'm cutting the ends, I'm being gentle with it. Even with myself, I'm like, you're not a loser, you just lost today. Right? So it's just anyway, that's me being fake deep. I want to just, move on. So Coily Diva. Tell us about how you got into like being a natural hair influencer, and what has that been like as like a Black person and just natural hair? What has this journey been like for you?
So how did I start? I started by, Curlbox, getting all the hair products. So I would like use products and review them on, so soon after I went natural, I started an Instagram page like in April. So like 4 months later, I was like, maybe I should document this so I can go back and see, see how my growth is and everything like that. So that's why I started my Instagram page. So then I would review hair products. I would try them, wash my hair, style it, and write my review. So brands started reaching out, wanting to collaborate. So I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, oh, can we send you this? I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, y'all need to pay me. Y'all want me to review your stuff? Okay. How much you paying? So then I'm like, ooh, I need a media kit. I need my rates. So I'm like, what am I going to charge?
Wait, so at first they were just paying you in their products. That was it, right? It was like, we'll give you a free product. That's your payment? Is that how? Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, these people need to pay me because, it's more people reaching out. And I'm like, I know I'm going to do this because I'm trying to figure out what my hair likes and things like that. But if y'all reaching out to me to do it, then let's make a deal. Let's collab. So then that's how it started. So from there, I just, keep going.
Do you only work with like Black brands or it's just Black hair products?
No, I don't only work with Black brands, but so far I have only worked with Black brands. If another brand reaches out to me and their products, I'll read the ingredients, see if my hair is going to like the products, then I'll work with them. But so far, wow, it's only been Black brands. Give it to them. Okay. Wow, I didn't think of that. That's interesting. Let me see. Yeah. Black brands that has paid me. Other brands have not been Black, but they gifted me items.
Okay. How has the like negotiation process been with getting paid? With I guess with the Black brands, they're the ones that paying you. Has it been like an easy like sister girl kind of moment, or
yeah, it's been pretty easy.
Or not?
Some brands can't afford my rates, so they ask if I can, negotiate. And depending on the brand, I will. If not, I'm like, no, just holla at me when you got more money. But yeah, they pay me right on time, and it's pretty good so far. So that's good because I hear a lot of horror stories.
What makes you?
Like, oh, please.
Right. What makes you work with a brand that can't pay you or pay your rate? Like, what about them makes you say, I'll just do it?
If they're like small, just starting out, the products are good. They're nice. They're friendly. They're like, passionate about their stuff. But if they're like, just like, no, I'm gonna send you this and you're gonna do that. Who said that? No. Like recently, this one brand was like, hey, can I send you this oil? And you make 3 videos. Excuse me? 3 videos? To do, how much you paying? Oh, we're gonna gift you the products to make 3 videos. I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Like, this is my rate. Can you? They're like, oh no, we just want to send you the stuff and you make, forget it. I just stopped responding because you're not comprehending. And no, 3 videos for one? They're crazy. Some brands are crazy, but that's how they like to do it.
And time is money.
And it don't take 10 minutes to do. It takes all day, plus some extra days, because my hair got to set and sit, and then I take it out. I don't just wash it, condition it, deep conditioner, style it, sit under the dryer, let it sit for 6 days, unravel it, fluff it out, and we here. We charge them per day or per hour.
And you got a whole job.
A whole one, not a half one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you said like the fluffy twist style is your go-to style, right? That's your
Mm-hmm.
signature style. Would you ever like have you ever tried like a wash and go? Or
I have, yeah. I have tried a wash and go.
Is it just like, no?
I mean, it's fine. It's just that for me, I like to let my hair be. I don't want to keep manipulating my hair because I know how fragile it is and how it can be damaging. So a wash and go is very, like, if I do a wash and go, I think I'm going to start doing them again in the summer because it's warm outside and I don't have to be all wet head for too long. But yeah, it was nice. It's just, wash and go. Wash and fro is what it looks like, but I'm fine with it. I've done it, yeah. I've tried, what else have I tried? I recreated a few looks, like Karen Britt Chick's look, her signature ponytail with the bigger old fluffy added hair to it. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I recently did some little Bantu knots, little blow out my little 2 ponytails, stuff like that. I've been trying some stuff. Girl, I had a failed one. I tried to do Rihanna's look where she had the little ponytail with a little puff at the end. A whole bunch of little, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
Girl.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
Mm-mm. Fail. That was a big fail. But yeah.
Can we talk? Can we talk about the devastation that is a failed natural hairstyle? Because if first of all, if you dry, like I have my hair, I guess I have
Low
low
porosity.
porosity, right? So my hair takes
Mm-hmm.
forever to dry. Like even this length takes a long time to dry. And you done put your products in, you done twist it, braid it down. It's a whole day later, and then you take it out, and it's just like womp womp. Like it is
Devastating.
just it's devastating.
Like there is no pain more than a failed Bantu knot
Ooh.
for me. Cause like my go-to style was a high puff. Like if you see any of my old school like tie, I like a okay. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do Bantu twist styles, and that's just gonna be it. And then it's like wet
Oh my
limp,
gosh.
heat damaged, and it's just out. Oh, do you walk around and be like, oh, for 3 days, I'm like, I am so ugly until I wash my hair again because I'm not washing it
Exactly.
out. You gotta
No,
commit. You gotta
That's why I
commit.
got a
no,
dryer.
I'm
So
like,
I have
no.
a dryer, a sit under dryer because I can't. I can't have.
oh, I have that too, but I was like, I think there was when I went natural, there was so much misinformation. So I used to think that so on my Mondays was my wash day. It took all freaking day, and I would only sit under the dryer to set my deep conditioner, and I didn't think that I could sit under the dryer again to set the hairstyle because I already have fine hair, and I was like, that's I in my mind I was like, that's too
Mhm.
much heat. That's too much. Like for like I want to say like 8 years, I did not put heat on my hair. Now I have heat damage because I was like, I don't care. I want to blow out. I want styles. I don't care anymore. Like right now, I'm just like it's giving YOLO. I'm like it's hair. It'll grow back. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I have definitely cried in the mirror. Like we're gonna make it work.
Yep.
Just put it back.
Sharice, what's a controversial take you have about natural hair care?
Ooh, a
Or do you
controversial
have any?
take. Um, well, a controversial take that some people have is that you shouldn't use creams, butters, or oils, and I use them all the time, so I'm using them. My hair likes them. I'm gonna use them. That's what I started using. It's working. It's still
Right.
working. My hair is fine, and that's it. I mean, sometimes, like last week for this style, I didn't use any creams or butters. I just used a mousse to twist my hair, and it's fine. I mean, just do what your hair likes. I don't think you need to stop using something because people are telling you to do that, and there are stylists that are about
Yeah.
to tell you, no, don't use creams, don't use butters, don't use this, don't use that. So it's up to you. I mean, you can try it. Maybe one day I'll try not using creams or butters, but today I'm using them.
Right. Well, Sharisa, before we let you go, do you want to tell us about some of the brands you work with and tell us about your affiliate links?
Sure. Some of the brands I work with are Donna's Recipe. That's by Tabitha Brown. Can I leave a link here okay. The link and stuff will be in your description, right? Nature's Little Secret. Let me see. I'm looking at the stuff. Who else have I worked with? Kalita Naturals, Organic Beauty Essence, Uncle Funky's Daughter, Bouclem. Who else we got over there? To name a few. Let's stay there.
She has like a beauty supply store worth of products,
I
by the
do.
way.
Yes, you are truly the most aligned hair influencer. Like everything I feel like your story just happened so organically. Even the way that you fell into being a hair influencer, it just seems so it seems like just like a natural authentic story. Nobody's like trying to sell you anything, so it's like kind of refreshing to hear because like what you see so much now on social media, because like as I will always and forever be a YouTube hair tutorial watch girly. I do it on TikTok, but you know when they're trying to sell you something and they're like blowing smoke up your ass, and it's just like really refreshing to like somebody that's just like, I wanted to learn my hair and I put the work in, and this is what I've learned and this is what I'm sharing. Like it is very refreshing.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to be, real. I'm not trying to sell a dream. This is how it's working. Oh, this don't work. This works. Let's do it like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much to the Coily Diva. This was a great conversation.
Thank you for having me.
And we will leave all of the information in the description box for you to follow her and see her journey. And we are going to let the Coily Diva go. Bye.
So big up to Coily Diva. And you know what? This Black History Month, we're going to actually use her as our peep game. Sharice is not only is she a hair influencer, she's also a style influencer. She has actually several pages. So we all know she has Coily Diva. And then she also has Diva Reese Cosmetics, because she also does sell eyelashes and nail polish. She's currently not selling right now, but she's going to start selling those stuff once again. And then she also has Diva Reese, which is her fashion page. So the girl's doing all the things. She's just doing all the amazing Black woman stuff. So she's this week's peep game. And again, in the show notes and on our IG page, we're going to list all of her Instagram pages, her TikTok pages, and all of her affiliate links, because help a Black woman get paid. Okay. Yeah. Every time you click a link, even if you don't buy something, when you click a link, she also gets commission from you trafficking websites through her site, through her links.
Oh.
Yeah, so click the links, buy some stuff, help a Black sister out.
Yeah, support Black women, all right?
And before we go, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and her IG page is fun. It's like interactive, like it's really cute.
And I say this girl's an influencer. She posts every single day nonstop. Like, she is doing the work. And before we go, I just want to give one Black history fact. In 1925, February was chosen as Black History Month. It was chosen because of the birth month of two important people in history, Frederick Douglass and President Abraham Lincoln. Now, that's real tricky. That's tricky all around. However, in 1925,
he was the man on these streets. He was the man in these streets.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode, like you enjoyed the other episodes. We hope you enjoyed our guests. Like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah, y'all, we finna be live.
Yeah, we back again. So tell your friends and tell your wretched ass friends.